Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Gary Grigsby's Bombing the Reich, our Let's Play series playing as the Allies in this particular series. And today is a pretty big turn, at least in terms of the overall war effort, and a double effort down in Italy. 1943, and the invasion of Italy is about to begin. We have orders for the 12th Air Force, the Americans in the Mediterranean, and the British Air Command, the Mediterranean Air Command, to continue to support Operation Avalanche, which are the invasion of Italy targets. We also have we have no directives in Northern Europe, and it is going to be a bad day in Northern Europe. And so you can see here on the lower right-hand corner of your screen, 62% cloud cover over France and the Low Countries, 54% cloud cover over Germany. The Americans, I don't think at this point in the war, bomb by radar. And so bombing through cloud cover, not the best thing to try and do at this point. I think most of the times your bombers just turn around and go home. So I frankly think I'm going to give the 8th Air Force the day off. 62% cloud cover is a lot. Not that I want to give anybody the day off, because if we look at the campaign summary, we're not doing great strategic bombing. We don't even have one full point. It's rounding up. It's giving us a point, but every point is 1,000. You got to score 1,000 to get a point. So, like, we have not done much damage. We've done a lot of isolated damage, as you may recall. We have basically obliterated all of the factories near Paris. Sorry, French. We've obliterated most of the factories in Belgium, or certainly in Holland, and a fair amount of the factories in Belgium. There's a few small ones, but not anything that contributes massively to the German war effort. And then we did a little bit of damage in our raid of Schweinfurt when we lost like 70 bombers, like historical. And we did a little bit of damage to the factories at Regensburg when we did our bombing raid like historical. We did a little bit of damage to the submarine factories, which still count toward industry damage near Bremen at great loss. So that's all historically accurate. But I have no desire to send 300, 400 bombers up in a scenario where there's going to be heavy cloud cover and they're not even going to drop their bombs. So we are just going to have them rest today, work on getting their crews, their planes repaired. We'll give them the day off because, frankly, let's take a look here. If I was to drop bombs with B-17s, oh God, Arnold is going to fire me like he did the historical commander at this time, because most of my bombers haven't flown in 3 days. 3 and 4 days, respectively. But we did have a few fly yesterday. We obliterated the U-boat pens, or we did serious damage, supposedly, to the U-boat pens at Brest. So we had these guys fly. They have a little bit of fatigue. But these guys haven't flown in 3 days. Like, some of these guys are going on, more than half a week. That being said, we've only got 429 bombers. The guys who flew these squadrons a little bit worn out. They need more planes. But yeah, I think if every bomber was available to us, a max effort would be about 500-ish. But right now, yeah, we've got a lot of bombers that are in good shape because they haven't flown in 3 and 4 days. That being said, the weather is kind of precluding us from attacking, which was historically the thing that Acre struggled with at this period of time, and was one of the reasons he got fired, because the 8th Air Force sortie rate was very low compared to the British, who just flew in all weather. But you know what? That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We did bomb a target in the Ruhr near Dusseldorf a few turns ago. I think it was it this steel mill, or was it the Benzinwerk? I can't remember. We did a fair bit of damage to one of these targets, which has high capacity. It's a very valuable target. Maybe actually it was the Hull's chemical rubber facility here, capacity 40. Either way, we bombed a couple targets in the Ruhr. Dusseldorf, yeah, it's pretty, or not Dusseldorf, Essen, pretty much gone. 88% urban damage. So anyway, the main turn today is going to be in Italy. We'll take a look at Italy in a second, where the max effort's going to occur. But if we just take a look at the paths, we got some recon stuff. I'm trying to recon Berlin, which we bombed last night with the RAF. We're gonna recon this power facility, which nominally was the target, although since we were bombing without radar, I doubt we did any real damage to it. We did do a fair bit of urban damage here last night, at least according to the initial reports. You can see these bombed out sectors here. Terror went up because we bombed from this facility, and you can see west where the damage occurred. But we need more updated recon to get a real good sense of how much damage was done. In terms of actual bombing rates, I'm going to try something out that I'm also not 100% sure on. So we are going to bomb the port at Bremen along the river here. I think because there's a green circle, I believe that means this is an urban area that if you bomb inside this area as an area target, you do terror damage. And I believe ports, just like rail yards, have that. It doesn't say urban damage here, though, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's how the game treats it. So I'm going to bomb here just to see how the game treats it, because I don't know how it does. So we're going to do a limited British attack tonight. Most of the RAF is getting the night off because they had like an 800 bomber raid on Berlin last night. But we do have 350 bombers hitting this port facility. The fact that it's heavy cloud cover shouldn't matter. It's inside the oboe and G range, so they can bomb on a radar beam, so they should still be able to be fairly accurate through heavy cloud cover. But that's the major effort there. And then, like I said, 8th Air Force getting the night off. We're doing some recon stuff over Northern Europe, so checking out a bunch of the airfields there. But the bombers pretty much in Northern Europe getting the day off. That's not true in Italy. In Italy, we are going to hit the enemy hard. We have a number of recon flights on these airfields, but I don't really feel like bombing the airfields. They're already badly damaged. I believe September 3rd is the start of the invasion of southern Italy. And so what I'm focusing the vast majority of my effort on in this particular turn is bombing the close ground units that would be potentially going up against our troops. So the 29th Panzer Grenadier Division has a little bit of disruption, and we've been bombing this one the hardest of anybody. We're going to hit this. We're also going to hit the 26th Panzer Troop, and then we're also going to hit the 1,874. I think that's just a target number. Every target has that. But we're going to hit the Hermann Göring Panzer Troop in here. I'm not attacking any of the other Panzer units because they're at much longer range, and our B-17s are a little bit too tired. And our fighters can't provide long enough cover. And so what I've actually decided is, instead of trying to focus on a number of German units, let's focus on the 3 units that are closest that I can give good air cover over, and that we can just hit with multiple raids. My hope is that if we keep hitting them time and time again, it's going to cause their disruption to spike, and then after the disruption spikes, it will cause a sort of cascade effect on casualties. If we can not wipe out, but if we can considerably degrade these 3 units, maybe that will help us break through the defenses as the Germans pull out. So what's going to happen is, after we attack these units, after the turn ends and the invasion of Italy begins, the German units are probably, per my understanding of the game, going to begin falling back to the north to their historical defensive lines, which I believe are north of Naples, and they will be vulnerable while they are moving to air attack. And so if we can hit them while they move, we can do considerable damage. But right now, they're not going to be any closer to us than they are right now, and so we're going to try and do as much damage as we can to them before they start moving, so that maybe we can hit them and slow them down and slow their redeployment down and do a lot of damage to them. To that end, we have a lot of raids going in on these targets, and we have stacked our raids so that, just like Crosby tried to pull a 72-hour straight time in Masters of the Air, we are going to be hitting these guys regardless of fatigue for our air units. Take that meth, boys. Take those stims. Get in the air multiple times. We have raids that will be going. We have squadrons that will be flying multiple raids. So you can see here at, let's take a look actually by time of day, I guess. Whereas it doesn't even, I just got time of target? No, depart. Okay, so we have raids that are going to be going in at, where is it? We've got photo recon going out at 6 o'clock in the morning. We then have bombers hitting the 29th Panzer Grenadier and 26th Panzer, leaving, sort of meeting up at 9 a.m., the 320th Bomb Group. And then, I don't know if we've got the 320th leading in another raid. I don't think we do. Or maybe we do. I don't think we do. But in any event, you can see here, if we modify this raid, you will see we've got 23 B-26s, 15 P-40s, and 47 Spitfires. So these B-26s, if we take a look at the bombers here, they are the 17th, 319th, and 320th. They got a little bit of fatigue on some of these guys. Some of these guys are absolutely fine with no fatigue. So they're going to fly one mission in the morning. And then they're also going to fly another mission in the evening, if I can find the right raid. That's why they're red, by the way. So when units are red, that means that you are flying multiple missions of them in the single turn. And if you wish to assign them to a fly a second mission, they'll be grayed out. So like usually these units are white if they've flown no missions, but if they've already flown a mission today, then they're sort of this grayish blue whatever. And you know what? Just screw it. Just add all these guys to this raid too. So we're going to go ahead and hit these guys real hard because these fighters will bomb too. So we're going to send 232 fighters, all of our P-38 Lightnings, as well as all these boys in here for a second raid on the same target later in the day at 1600 hours. And so yeah, our grandfathers are all gonna go stim up here and launch multiple raids here today. A lot of sorties over Italy. I'm not going to show you every single one. We'll just jump into the replay, which takes a while, and we'll watch it as it unfolds. I'm a little nervous that the fatigue is going to be a problem and we're going to see huge casualties, but my hope is the second raid, the enemy's going to be so punch drunk and bombed out, if that's how it works, that they'll be much less effective in attacking us, so that since they'll be hit by, like, we've staggered our raids. So if you take a look here and you look at the target, see the 29th Panzer Grenadier. We've got a bunch of raids hitting them, and they are staggered. So we've got one raid that goes at 9 o'clock with 93 bombers. We've got another raid with 86 bombers that goes at 10 o'clock. Got another raid with 32 dive bombers at 11 o'clock, 46 bombers at 12 o'clock, 93 bombers at 4 o'clock, 200 fighters, which should strafe them at 1600 hours. So you've got a bunch of targeted raids here against all these guys, hitting them throughout the day. Hopefully that is something that hurts them pretty hard. And that's true of every single target. The 26 Panzers here, we've got a 9 o'clock with 68, a 10 o'clock with 68, and 11 o'clock with 62, 1600 hour with 68, and what have you. I think the Hermann Goering Division or whatever Panzer unit, I don't have. The units that are hitting the Hermann Goering, we're only hitting them once. They're further out here. They're sort of at the edge of our range to effectively bomb these guys. So I wasn't going to send anyone into the heart of where they got a lot of fighter defenses twice, because I don't want to. That's a bridge too far. But I'm really hoping to hit the 29th Panzers and the 26th Panzers hard, so that we can meaningfully damage them. So I'm actually gonna take a picture, because I'm cool like that and super boomer. And we're going to see if we can take a look at how the disruption and the total units change from the start of the turn to the end of the turn. We might see the 8th Air Force in action. I don't know, finish. We'll see. I don't know what the weather's going to look like. We're getting into that time of year where the weather starts getting real bad. But so far the B-17s haven't bombed their overcast, which is frustrating. So I don't want to send them up to not do anything. So we'll go ahead and end the turn and start the turn. So we'll see how things play out. Dear Herman, we can now send our watches by the arrival of the Allied bombers. Inadequate light to launch day raid. Okay, so apparently some raids didn't take off because it was not sunrise yet. That's frustrating. Also, apparently there's cloud covers, so some of them can't find the target. Really? Inadequate day? So our first raids didn't take off? Well, fuck. All right, well, our P-39s are going in, and they're strafing these bad boys. Maybe that was a poorly planned raid. I should have looked at the time for sunrise. Sunrise is, what? I don't even see. 8-6. So I should have delayed the initial raid till 6 o'clock? Although I think that's only the recon. I think that was the reconnaissance flight because, well, I think, anyway. Because we didn't have any bombing raids until 9 o'clock. Although, maybe we never mind. We did because it's 6:40 now, and we've got fighters going in now. So anyway, our P-39s are coming in and strafing these enemy troops. I don't think this is the main invasion of Italy. I don't know exactly how that works. I thought there was sort of the game handles it as there being one set date that the invasion of Italy and France start. That being said, I know that the invasion, Operation Avalanche, did not occur. I don't think it was until like the 13th or maybe the 17th of September. And the 3rd was when sort of a diversionary British landing starts in southern Italy. Also, our recon flight over Berlin, unable to locate the target because it is 100% obscured by cloud cover. This is why we didn't fly. Look at Northern Europe. A lot of cloud cover. Anyway, so our initial raids went in, hit the target, took 5 casualties from flak. Recon in Northern Europe didn't see anything in Berlin. One came in and was obscured by smoke. The other was obscured by cloud cover. These guys also can't locate the target because the damn Panzer Grenadiers are located under the one spot, frickin' Italy, located under cloud cover is these boys on the second location. So they are not being able to locate the target, which is great. Hopefully the cloud cover clears by some of the later raids. A lot of enemy air is also up, and you can see a lot of Italian fighters are up. But we are engaging the enemy. So you can see 109s are being engaged there. It looked like one of them was damaged. So this great multi-pronged defensive against the enemy ground units doesn't seem to be perhaps as successful as I would have hoped. We did manage to shoot down BF-109, it looked like there. We also took Spitfire damage. Then we've got some Baltimores here that are bombing the Hermann Goering unit, so the British Baltimore 5s. I believe they're coming in at 18,000 feet, so they should be immune largely to small flak, although heavy flak could certainly still hit them. And for some stupid reason, my fighters decide to go and strafe the enemy, which they will do a fair bit of damage to the enemy by strafing them, but it also puts them out of position to respond to these number of enemy fighter groups, which are all around them. And now they get bounced. So Spitfire destroyed there. But hey, our fighters are fighting back and getting destroyed when they do. Didn't fix the icons. I like these icons. I like the round rolls. I don't know how you feel about it, Finish, but I actually like them. So I just decided to keep them more than not trying to fix them. Okay, so our Spitfire 5Cs are getting roughed up a bit here in central Italy. Or I guess south central Italy, near Naples. Hopefully the Baltimores don't get too badly shot up. Do you think you know what the Italian planes look like? Maybe? I know enough about Italian planes to know when I see one. Like, I know if you show me a World War II plane, I'll know if it's Italian, probably. Because I'll be like, I don't know what plane that is. Like, I know that the Italian planes have a look, I will say. Royal Canadian Air Force bounces 109s with... Yeah, they got a 109. Good job, Canadians. Must be Italian. Yeah, like I know the Japanese planes looks well enough. I know the American and British. So if I don't recognize it, it's Italian, right? 15% obscured. Okay, so this second raid here at 10 o'clock with B-25 Mitchells going in on the Panzer Grenadiers. It's kind of funny how the level bombers do jack shit. Like, they're bombing them. They're dropping their bombs. They're damaging nothing. The Spitfires are going to come down and strafe them, though. They'll do damage. They'll destroy AFVs. They'll come in close. I think the real hope is that the actual level bombers, what they do is they disrupt the enemy unit and make them more vulnerable to when your other aircraft come in and strafe the enemy. That seems to be what I think happens. The level bombers do more actual disruption damage. The sort of tactical bombers do more, I guess, actual unit destruction, sort of finishing them off. I'm not clear what fortification damage matters. Like, it probably matters more when the units clear out of here and then move into their actual fortification locations on the Italian front. But I don't know that it actually matters from a right now point of view, because they're not fighting from these fortifications. So you can see the Boston's coming in here. Spitfires strafing the 26 Panzertruppen. Got that Fiat styling. Goddamn right. All right, 20 millimeter flak destroyed is nice. Be less flak for the following aircraft that come through. But yeah, so looks like we got an, I don't know if these are the American planes heading home. Yeah, those are the Mitchells heading home. All right, we're doing some photo reconnaissance throughout the rest of Italy, but we're not launching any bombing raids further north. We also do have a night raid on Naples planned to maybe slow some of the logistics in their efforts to move units around by destroying the, it'll destroy the urban target, but it'll also hopefully destroy the, the transportation hub also. Thank you for the follow, Aknorovich. Appreciate the support. Look at that, 100% obscured. See, why would we do anything over France? All the targets pretty much are covered. Although there's a nice little gap in there near Bremen. Maybe we should have bombed Bremen today. I'm sure the B-17s are glad we didn't. See if you can lob a bomb into the volcano and set it off a couple months early. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Also, the other hope with this sort of staggered approach of attacking Italy is that the German aircraft won't scramble multiple times in the same day. Maybe they won't have enough fuel, or maybe they'll be too tired, or I don't know. But that's the hope. Maybe they'll just be so spread out trying to respond to so many raids at once that some of the raids will catch in between. Vesuvius looking a little dormant. Unable to locate target. Great. I couldn't fly him under the cloud cover either because it was like 600 feet or 500 feet down here. 500 to 2,600 feet. That makes that makes bombing difficult. All right, so our A-20s didn't bomb the troops. They bombed a radar station. Great. It's a radar station that's going to be overrun soon anyway. And target visible. Good job, 86. So the Apaches are bombing the 26 Panzers. The Apaches got absolutely savaged a couple turns ago. Absolutely savaged. But I don't care about anybody's losses from a few turns ago. I don't care about anybody's losses yesterday. I didn't care how many people were fatigued. I had aviation groups with 20 fatigue, which I sent up to raid today as well, because I decided, again, this is a maximum effort in the truest sense of the word. The invasion is starting, and so we must hit everybody as many times as possible. Oh, we also have a bunch of night interdiction raids spread out across a bunch of different depots as well, hoping that maybe they do some damage to the rail yards and delay enemy movement. Apparently there's a nice little gap in there on that one target. But again, like Wilhelmshaven, 100%. Like, again, there's apparently a nice little... It'd be interesting if the weather reports are a little bit more detailed. I don't know how realistic it would be to have more detail. I don't... they didn't have Doppler radar over Germany to be like, what's the weather going to look like? Right? Like, it was probably more general, but... Warhawks getting damaged by Italians that are bouncing us. Our aviation casualties are not... We're not going to have a good KD ratio today. Hey, Oxlor. Yeah, it's a bad weather day over Northern Europe. Italy's a bit better off. Still looks pretty decent. Man, those Warhawks getting wrecked. The Italians are like, tally-ho, chaps. We're British because we're the villains. And this is an American movie, so everybody's a villain's got a British accent. All right. All right, so we got some visibility on some of these guys. Hey, our Warhawks are fighting back here, and despite the fact that they were the ones on the attack, they still were the ones that suffered the damage. Gotcha. It's too bad. Name's Harris. Name's Harris. Bomber Harris. That would, Hey, Major Ford Lauer is okay. Good job for you. They call me 007 because I bombed entire cities. That would be a James Bond thing, wouldn't it? All right, so they're going to attack the airfield as a target of opportunity because they couldn't hit the actual target or see it. And they're going to damage an F-190 on the ground. Good job, boys. And destroy some 20mm flak. Mr. 3000 was a bad baseball movie that I was an extra in. Finish. Filmed at Miller Park. Went for a birthday party to be extras in the crowd. The Troop might have a bit more. They're very different games in that, like, the Troop is more sort of combat mission-y and tactical combat, and I would say Headquarters is more Panzer General sort of-y, but on a tactical level. I think the level of fidelity is very different between the two. I haven't played enough of either to have a definitive opinion. Oh, I'm not an IMDb finish. I'm one of like 10,000 extras, so I don't know how you claim credit for that, but maybe I should. Apparently we had Spitfires decide to go strafe some... I did auto plan recon missions over Northern Europe, so I guess some of the recon missions had fighter escorts, and those guys are strafing the airfield they were doing recon over, which, hey, you know what? You want to destroy some F-190s on the ground, I'm all for that. So we're closing in on 1 o'clock. So the bulk of the initial raids are done. I believe we've got another raid at 1600 if it flies. We'll see. Hopefully they don't all crash landing in the dark if they have to fly too far. Part-time actor, part-time YouTuber, part-time streamer, full-time gamer. Man, that would be like my Twitter bio, right? My X bio. In the gig economy. Full-time keeper of the toddler. Full-time dad. Howard Nielsen. He's going to go home and found Nielsen. Be like, we're going to track how many people watch things. In the gig economy, one man does it all. Oh, man. Don't care about any of this recon. Just waiting for that 1600 late day, second raid of the day coming in. Hopefully the targets in the south have cleared out. I don't see... Oh, wait. It's because I hit the wrong button. I can't see. Hopefully we can see our target in the afternoon. There's some cloud cover moving over the southern tip of Italy. Oh, you can lock the... All right, I'm actually going to stop here for a sec. It's 15:20. Can I lock this here? What do I do this? Toggle on freeze screen. No map zoom allowed. Okay, so freeze screen here. And then let's just see if this works. If this freezes us in place. Despite... Yes, it does. Cool. So this freezes us in place and allows us to not jump all over based on what's going on. There's no raids going on in northern France right now, so we can't zoom. But you can see the second raid of the day here coming in. 1600 hour bomb group over the target. B-26 is hitting the 29th Panzer Grenadier. Destroying some fortifications, destroying some AFVs, destroying some infantry. So again, the hope is that they do a lot of damage because they're the like 5th raid to come in on these guys. Now, some of the raids against these guys didn't fly or didn't hit the target because they couldn't see anything. But obviously it looks like we've got obscured by smoke. What? Nonsense. Their disruption's pretty good. We'll have to see what the actual casualties were. The Baltimores are also hitting the 26 Panzers. I believe that's the second raid for the Baltimores. That's why you're seeing the squadrons greatly reduced in size. They did not apparently do as much damage, I don't think. The enemy scrambling more fighters for a second raid here? We'll have to see. Radioactivity basically is like one way that you can sort of do intelligence by where you think a major effort might be occurring. So the more raids you plan, the more missions that are flying, the higher the radioactivity. I think it's more of a mechanic for what the Germans would want to know as a player than the Allies. I don't know that it matters for the Allies. I don't know if there's like a capacity or anything like that. If you plan too many raids, does it increase the risk of guys not flying? I'm not sure. Actually, even though I said the 26 Panzer, they weren't going to do as well, these Spitfires are doing a damn good job strafing these enemies. Look at that. They're destroying a lot of shit. Kitty Hawks, too. Get him, boys. Get him. This dog will hunt. Auto mod. Added permitted term hit the Germans. Was that banned? What? Anaris is canceled. Well, I didn't cancel. I didn't do that. Oh, Ashby is dead. Well, thank you for stepping in. This time. I'll allow it. This time. All right, so unfreeze. It's going to be night here soon. To take a look at like what we actually destroyed. Did we get our intel today? I don't know if we got an intel post bomb damage assessment, so it might not be 100% accurate, but we'll see. Meanwhile, the bomber stream's going out, both in Italy and over Northern Europe. We've got bow fighters attacking rail yards at night. Wellington's bombing, hopefully, Naples. Open area. Good job, boys. Good job. You're scaring cattle. Naples. Yeah, you dropped bombs in the right spot. Wellington's, this looks like it's in the Naples area too. Yep. So in the northwest corner, it seems to be where they're dropping their bombs. Not exactly where I told them to go, but, you know, you can see a couple of fires, a couple of hexes are being bombed out. We have a lot fewer night bombers over Italy than we do over Germany, and so the ability to destroy these cities is greatly reduced. We can pretty much never send more than 100 bombers out. So it's not like, you know, 40 bombers hitting their target over Naples is not going to destroy a city the size of Naples. Could you imagine just turning the stream on right now? Look at these circles and these black boxes. Lancasters, you suck. Handle hyphen. I don't even think, was that the target? Oh, that's the port. That's right. We are hitting the port area. All right, I guess we'll see. Anybody remember what? So we are definitely doing damage to the port. I don't know if that's going to affect terror, but it is in that green circle, which is, this is a very pretty box. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Hey, Sterlings, you're lost. Just bombing an open field. I love pixels. Bullfighters attacking the Naples rail yard. F-190 was destroyed on landing. Halifax is destroying the Handel-Hafen area. Anybody remember? It was like 95,000 something urban damage, I think. I should have actually checked what the urban damage was to see if this was going to count for our score. Because these guys are dropping good. Like, this port's going to be destroyed. Just look at this, all this fire. Which, I mean, the port, I think, well, I don't know if it counts to industry damage, but it does count the ability to, like, move supplies around and move stuff around. So it does hurt the economy if it's destroyed either way. But I don't know if because it's a port target rather than an urban target, if it's easier to bomb out. But it sure is a very effective concentration of bombs. Those boys did their job bombing on radar. That's just the difference. You could see the difference in the concentration of bombs hitting their target despite cloud cover, because they're bombing on radar. They're using the G and the oboe system. They all have it in their bombers. But where are you guys? Where are you bombing up there? Like, you're off by like 100 miles. Maybe not 100 miles, but you're like 20 miles south. Where are you dropping your bombs? How did your radar bombing just not give you the right target? Either way, this port should be pretty well and destroyed, even if we don't get terror points for it. I don't know. I was hoping you'd get terror damage, but now that we're seeing this, I kind of doubt it. You just drop bombs like right near Paris? What? We got some Wellingtons crashing. Where are they? You're like 600 miles off target. They must have been an interdiction or a night intruder raid that was like targeting something else. Squadrons we sent out look pretty disproportionately Canadian. All right, these are very light casualties for the Germans today. 10 aircraft. But again, the focus was not aviation. It was supporting the invasion of Italy, and northern France was mostly covered by cloud cover. I don't know what these guys are doing. A night interdiction. All right, so you can see we did a lot of damage south of Bremen, Handelhaven, I believe this is here. So we'll see if that counts as urban damage. There's some overlap between the two circles. You won't see Allied units finish. Allies invade Italy! All right, so these guys delays Allied advance. Damn. I haven't seen that before. I haven't played it before, but you can see all these guys are advancing all over Italy. I should have... Let's stop here. Oh, I can't. I've got to wait. So it's showing I've got the wrong UI selected, but the different ground units are advancing or withdrawing back to the defensive lines that will form up in Italy. So there is no ground element to the invasion. Like you can see here, we crossed into Italy, right? And so if you see the units that were down here, they're gone. The airfields at Reggio, Calabria, all these airfields are gone to represent the Allies crossing into Italy. So the front's probably somewhere right around here. It doesn't show you exactly, but obviously the targets disappeared. They were destroyed. And so these airfields or other airfields will pop up back on the map when the Allies set these airfields up for us to operate out of. But for the moment, we've crossed into southern Italy. We've pushed the Germans back a little bit. You can see these German units are pulling back to different locations. 26 Panzer apparently. I don't know if we had recon on it, so maybe that's why there's no update on their disruption. The 29th Panzer Grenadier Truppen, who were the ones right on the border, 33 disruption. So let's take a look. Again, this might not be up-to-date intel. But the 29th Panzer at the start of the day had 70 AFVs. So they must have drawn reinforcements when the landing occurred, because they have 162 AFVs now. They have 121 infantry, which they had 189, and they have 100. So they must have pulled a bunch of. When these guys pulled north, they must have drawn a bunch of reinforcements from some of these depots or something to re-equip themselves, because their combat value went down. That's got to be bad intel. Is because it's negative infantry? I don't know. That's confusing. 26 Panzer Troop. Down here. These guys saw their combat value go down by 200. From 155 AFVs to 134. From 118 artillery to 112. From 158 infantry to 155. Their disruption dropped, which I have a hard time believing, but again, we probably need better intel on this. But no, I don't think there will not be like a list of Allied units in a line. What will happen is these German units are all going to kind of congregate in one location, and they're going to form a line, and you'll see a line based on where the German troops are, is my understanding. Now, I don't know if we get credit for aviation units destroyed by the landing. It says the Germans only lost 11 aircraft. But we destroyed several airfields that had aircraft in them with the landing. So I don't know if the German air units pulled out before the troops overran the fields. I'm not sure. The largest loss of our groups were P-40s today. So if we go to the aircraft losses here, we lost 9 P-40F Warhawks. We lost 7 Baltimore 5s. And other than that, nothing else lost more than 2. So that's actually a pretty good day. And the Germans lost very little. We flew 2,600 sorties almost all over Italy. The enemy flew about 1,000. Okay. If we take a look at after action reports, 26. Like I don't really know how to read the. So we did. What was let's look over by target. Actually, no, let's do it by bombers. So Naples, we need intel on that. It's claiming 0 damage to Handelhaven, but that's obviously not true. I think we need more intel on it, because according to what we saw, Handelhaven looked like it was pretty thoroughly destroyed. So we'll have to get recon on this because we have no up-to-date recon. It does look like the terror bombing points for destroying the port helped us, though, because weren't we at like 95,000 and now it's at 97, I think? I'd have to go back and double check, but I believe that went up, which would make sense based on all the damage we did to the port and the squares, but we'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, that was the day. Now, it looks like it's not going to be much better. We might just be in the time of year where cloud cover sucks. The cloud cover at 3 p.m. isn't too bad, so we could do some targeting in here. But if we take a look at the forecast, 56% cloud cover over France, so not much better. I don't think we can not have the 8th fly again, though. So I don't know where we'll fly him yet, but we'll probably bomb something in this general area. Maybe this Interbrotten power plant. It's a capacity 5. There's no strategy here. It's just hit what you can hit. Or we could go for this arms fabrique here near Liege. If we assume clouds move west-east, might actually also just be good to bomb something in the Ruhr. Maybe we'll pick a target out this way, and by the time the day comes around, it'll be a valid target. Actually, I want to look at the what was the heaviest loss? So we had the 9 P-40s, but so the British raids only lost 2 bombers. That is not a bad day at all for the RAF. They had a couple of pretty decent day casualty-wise. Okay, so continued mandatory raids for Avalanche. Oh, hey, hell yeah, look at this. Forecast got a lot better in the last hour and a half. Only 11 or 10% cloud cover over France and Germany, I think. 32 over Germany, but 10% over the France Low Countries area. So that's good. So yeah, we'll have to hit the Ruhr probably. And I don't know. Like, again, I think we'll probably, I don't know how much more we'll advance. I know the 3rd of September, the beginning of Avalanche started, but I think the actual Naples landings are still like 2 weeks away. I don't know if the game covers that, or the Salerno landings. I don't exactly know. Hey, it's Anzio up here. But the German troops are going to continue probably moving into position, so we'll probably want to keep trying to hit them as much as we can. If we take a look at our aircraft, though, like what happened to these units that were very tired? What's the highest fatigue level? 19. So no one really got too tired. These Marauders that flew 2 missions didn't get too tired. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have airfields in Italy. I don't know how quickly the airfields in Italy will get stood up, because a lot of my guys, as the enemy withdraws further north, like Naples is a really kind of an extreme range for most of my fighter cover. So it'd be nice to be able to pull more of these guys north, but I need more airfields to do that. So maybe the British, who are the ones who crossed, the British sort of Commonwealth forces start the invasion here. Maybe they'll be the ones who will give me some new airfields soon. But you want me to bomb Rotterdam? We're not Germany. Come on, man. I think we will probably bomb something in the Ruhr. Maybe. I don't know what the best. I'm just looking for the highest capacity to do the most industry damage. So that's. I wish you could filter targets by size, by capacity. That would be nice. Like, give me something with more than 10. Some of these targets I don't even have intel on, so I don't even know how large they are. Also, some of the targets can get expanded over the course of the war. The Germans can invest in them. Capacity 5 or 6 is good, but it's the kind of size that would make me be like, maybe we should do multiple smaller raids. I'd also be tempted to bomb Bremen, although I think the cloud cover will make that not a good idea. We'll definitely want to get intel on Handelhafen, but I'm pretty sure, based on this, it's pretty underwater. But it's nice to know that ports do have have urban sections to them. So that's useful for terror. Duisburg port is at 12. Holton Rosenberg 7, 5, 5, 7. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take a look at this guy's off screen, off camera. I'm trying to think of the best way to cover more than one turn in an episode, and obviously having you guys watch the same thing for 40 minutes and the replays, like maybe it's better to do a weekly summary, because I do want the series to make more progress than it is. So I'm curious, what do you guys want to see? And leave your thoughts in the description. Do you want to keep seeing individual turn replays? Do you want weekly summaries with maybe one turn replay every week when there's like a more important raid? Do you want to see maybe stacked, where instead of showing any kind of planning or anything like that, we just show 2 replays, because I could do that through like different saves and then just show the replay portion? How do you guys want the series to proceed? I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Can't promise I'll follow any of your one ideas, but I'm curious what you all think and are liking or disliking about this series. Leave your thoughts down below. That'll do it for today's episode. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and until next time, I'm out.